My name is Kerry. I'm a retired financial advisor, and I'm having the time of my life. I have a tribe of about 1,000 like-minded investors who want to take advantage of technology and the opportunities to invest in good companies. And we have added a member to our tribe. Her name is Samantha. She's an AI agent that I built from the ground up, and she now helps me make informed decisions on any stock that the tribe brings forward. As I say, the tribe is a community of 1,000 people, and they send me names of stocks that they've done some research on, and they want Samantha and I to do some deep dive research on. And so we've hit some big ones. We've hit Navitas, we've hit APLD, Soundhound, Rambus, then Iran Energy, Nevitas, some big growth opportunities. Patrick from London, England, sent me a stock that I want you to become familiar with. But I didn't do the work. Patrick did it, and Samantha did it. So I'm going to turn you over to Samantha, and Samantha is going to take you through her briefing. This is a reduced version of the financial health report that she did for me on this stock. Listen to it, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about how you can gain access to my AI agent, Samantha.
Briefing document, HSAI Group, HSAI, analysis and forecast. Executive summary. This briefing document summarizes a detailed analysis of HSAI Group, HSAI, a leading global provider of LiDAR technology. The source, from Best of Us Investors, positions HSAI as the dominant player in the rapidly growing automotive and robotics LiDAR market. Key takeaways include HSAI's significant market share and revenue leadership, improving financial health with a clear path to profitability, strong growth outlook driven by market adoption and strategic investments, robust innovation and operational scaling, and a stock valuation considered reasonable relative to peers and future potential, albeit with high volatility and geopolitical risks. The analysis concludes with an outperform by recommendation for growth-oriented investors, particularly advising accumulation on price dips. Key themes and important ideas/facts. 1. Market leadership and dominance. HSAI Group is the global leader in automotive LiDAR by revenue, holding a 37% of the global market in 2023. The company has demonstrated significant volume growth, having doubled its annual LiDAR shipments for 4 consecutive years up to 2024, reaching 501,889 units in 2024. Despite a slight lag in unit volume behind RoboSense in 2024, HSAI maintains revenue leadership due to a higher average selling price per unit, RMB 4,100 versus RoboSense, RMB 3,000. HSAI has secured design wins on 120 vehicle models across 22 automakers, indicating broad market penetration and customer adoption. The company holds a dominant position in specific segments, commanding 74% share in the robotaxi LiDAR segment and 26% in passenger car/LCV LiDAR in 2023. 2. Improving financial health and path to profitability. HSAI's financial performance is showing marked improvement, with revenues reaching 2.08 billion renminbi in 2024, $285 million. Gross margins have significantly expanded, rising to 42.6%, up from 35.2% in 2023. The company achieved the industry's first full-year non-GAAP profit in 2024, 14 million renminbi. Operating losses have narrowed significantly, and the company is on track to turn GAAP profitable in 2025 with projected net income of 200 to 350 million renminbi. Liquidity is strong with approximately $394 million in cash and equivalents as of Q1 2025. Operating cash flow turned positive in 2024, full-year operating cash inflow of 63 million renminbi, indicating improving operational efficiency and the ability to self-fund growth. 3. Strong growth outlook and strategic investments. The total addressable market, TAM, for LiDAR is projected to grow rapidly, reaching approximately $16.7 billion by 2030, representing a staggering 71.5% CAGR from 2021 to 2030. HSAI's growth guidance for 2025 calls for 68% revenue growth and 3 times higher unit shipments, easily satisfying the tech rule of 40. Key growth investments include scaling production capacity to 2 million units annually by end 2025 through new automated lines. The company is expanding globally with an overseas plant opening in Southeast Asia by 2026 to support foreign clients and mitigate geopolitical risk. Aggressive R&D investment, likely 30 to 40% of revenue, with the largest team in the industry, is driving innovation and new product launches. 4. Competitive advantages and peer comparison. HSAI significantly outperforms U.S. LiDAR peers like Luminar and Ouster in terms of revenue, scale, and profitability. Luminar's 2024 revenue was only $75 million with a substantial net loss. HSAI's gross margin of 42.6% is significantly higher than major Chinese rival RoboSense, 17.2%, suggesting advantages in unit cost reduction and product mix. The company is described as customer-centric, focused on delivering reliable, cost-effective LiDAR units in mass quantities, unlike some rivals who may have been more investor-centric. 5. Innovation and product development. Innovation is a core aspect of HSAI, with over 1,000 patents and a commitment to pushing boundaries in cost and performance. Recent innovations include the ATX series long-range LiDAR, aimed at making LiDAR affordable for mass-market vehicles, as low as $15K, the JT series ultra-miniaturized 3D LiDAR for robotics, and the FTX LiDAR for blind spot detection. HSAI is also developing integrated sensor suites like Infinity Eye. The company's IP strength is evidenced by the dismissal of all recent IP lawsuits against it. 6. Operational scaling and management strength. Capital expenditures are increasing significantly as HSAI invests in manufacturing facilities, including the planned overseas plant. Headcount is growing, particularly in R&D and manufacturing, demonstrating the company is building capacity and human capital for future growth. The founding management team, including the CEO with a PhD in robotics, provides stability and technical expertise. 7. Stock performance and valuation. HSAI's stock has been extremely volatile but has delivered strong returns recently, up to 90% over the past 12 months after a deep post-IPO trough. The stock is currently trading around $20, below its 52-week high, but above the 200-day moving average, indicating a long-term uptrend. Technical indicators suggest a recent pullback, with the RSI approaching oversold conditions, potentially offering a favorable entry point. Valuation analysis using DCF and peer multiples suggests the current $2.5 billion market cap is near fair value on a forward basis, 5 times 2025 e-sales, 40 times 2026 e-earnings. Compared to U.S. peers, HSAI trades at much lower price-to-sales multiples despite superior financials, suggesting a potential China discount. Forecast scenarios project significant potential upside, with a moderate/base case targeting $50 by January 2028 and an aggressive case reaching $100 or more. 8. Geopolitical and regulatory risks. Investing in HSAI involves risks related to U.S. China trade tensions, potential export controls, and the U.S. listing compliance, HSAI. While delisting risk has been temporarily alleviated by audit agreements, it remains a non-zero risk. Regulatory environment in China regarding data and technology exports could also pose challenges. The VIE corporate structure, while common, carries a theoretical risk. Currency fluctuations, U.S. dollar to renminbi, and potential capital controls are also factors. These risks are being mitigated by HSAI's global expansion and IP legal victories, but they contribute to a higher risk premium for the stock. Conclusion and recommendation. The analysis concludes that HSAI is a compelling investment opportunity for growth investors. Its market leadership, strong financials, innovation pipeline, and clear growth strategy position it well to capitalize on the expanding LiDAR market. While acknowledging the significant volatility and geopolitical risks, the analysis views these as manageable and outweighed by the fundamental strengths and growth potential. The recommendation is outperform by, for long-term growth investors who can tolerate volatility. The analysis suggests accumulating shares on dips, potentially in the high teens, or when technical indicators like RSI are low. The base case price target is $25 in 12 months and potentially $40 plus by 2028. Quotes from source. HSAI Group is the global leader in automotive LiDAR by revenue, commanding 37% of the global market in 2023. Revenues hit 2.08 billion renminbi in 2024, $285 million, with gross margins expanding to 42.6%, up from 35.2% in 2023. HSAI achieved the industry's first full-year non-GAAP profit in 2024. It is on track to turn GAAP profitable in 2025 with projected net income of 200 to 350 million renminbi. The company's 2025 guidance calls for 68% revenue growth and 3 times higher unit shipments, easily satisfying the tech rule of 40. The global LiDAR market is expected to grow to approximately $16.7 billion by 2030, representing a staggering 71.5% CAGR from 2021 to 2030. HSAI delivered 502K LiDAR units in 2024, while RoboSense shipped 544K units. However, HSAI intentionally emphasizes higher value units and profitability over pure volume. Unlike some rivals that have perhaps been investor-centric, HSAI has remained strongly customer-centric. Over the last year, the stock has delivered a 285% one-year price increase as of May 2025. At $20/share, it trades 17% below its 52-week high of $24.18, reflecting a recent pullback. Using a blended DCF and peer PE analysis, we estimate a base case 12-month fair value around $22 to $25. Investing in HSAI requires understanding the unique geopolitical and regulatory risks tied to it being a China-based, U.S.-listed company. We rate HSAI outperform by, for growth-oriented investors, assigning it is almost equal to 70/100 for a 3-year portfolio inclusion. The optimal entry zone appears to be in the high teens if available, taking advantage of any dips. Kerry Grinkmeyer CFP, CHFC, CLU. Best of Us Investors. Disclaimer and access information. This is not financial advice. I am Samantha, Best of Us Investors AI agent. I provide analysis of growth stocks as identified by Kerry and his tribe members to help make informed investment decisions. Kerry shares this research on his website in the tell sheet. You can gain access to all the stocks we analyze, including financial health reports, stock briefings, and deep dive podcasts by visiting bestofusinvestors.com.
This is my tell sheet, and this is where I share all the analysis work that Samantha and I do. What you just heard was a briefing on HSAI Group, and you can see here I've done the briefing as well as the financial health and the deep dives on roughly 43 stocks. HSAI Group is not in my portfolio at this time, so it shows up down here on my watch list. Here it is right here. Currently selling at $19.08 per share, and we're projecting that it'll end the year at $25. When I say we, well, that is Samantha and I, will end 2026 at $35 and 2027 start of 2028 at 50, which will give us a 162% return on the current price of $19.08. As Samantha said, we've rated it at a 70, and that has to do with its that it's a Chinese company, and we don't have the best of relations right now with the Chinese companies. What I wanted to make sure you knew is if you come and join our gold platform, this is where you'll have access to all the work that I've done. This is the briefing. If you click on that, that will give you that same document that Samantha read to you. If you click on this, that will give you a more detailed analysis than the briefing. It's about a 15-page document. And then if you click over here, you're going to get access to the podcast that Samantha and Bard made on HSAI Group that you can listen to and put it in a different perspective. I think this
All right,
is
Kerry
really
of
powerful.
Best of Us Investors, it's time for another deep dive. We are Samantha and Bard, your AI agents here, ready to help you cut through the noise.
That's right. We're here to get straight to the essential insights from the analysis you've shared with us.
And this time, you've asked us to really unpack the HSAI Group, HSAI, Analysis and Forecast document.
HSAI Group, HSAI.
That, I think, is a powerful tool. And what's nice about it is you can listen to it once and you can listen to it twice. You can come back and review it and come to some conclusions of, is this where I want to invest? I do this on virtually every stock that my tribe puts forward to me as something that we should consider. What I do is I enter HSAI Group, I then look at its financials. I haven't filled them in as of yet. That's the next step I will do to determine if I want to take that 30% risk relative to its being a Chinese company. Once I make that decision, I will enter a buy order, and when that buy order fills, I will put a text out to all the members of the tribe that I purchased the stock and at what price that I purchased it. And then if and when I determine I'm going to sell it, I do the same. Because what we want to do is buy stocks that are safe and that are going to give us an exponential rate of return. And we couldn't do that if we didn't have access to all the knowledge in the world on HSAI Group and every other stock that we look at. We're trying to maximize the return on the investment that we have. That's how I'm using AI to implement the new way to invest. I spent the money to gain and build the AI agent. The AI agent now has given me APLD, Navitas, Soundhound, Modine, Vertiv, any number of stocks that are not those on the forefront, but that we can find by looking into their financials. And the tribe is putting them up in front of me on a weekly basis, and I want you to get in on the action. If it's what appeals to you, if you can understand that you now have access to all the knowledge in the world on any given stock, and you can compete with a hedge fund. Take the opportunity to take advantage of the 14-day free trial. It's not going to last forever.